Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I am so happy that you are here for another 4 for 4. What is a 4 for 4, you might ask? A 4 for 4 is when I take 4 palettes and I wear them for 4 days each, and then I come back here and I tell you which ones I liked, which ones I didn't, what I thought of each individual palette. Then I rank them and let you know if I'm going to declutter any of them. I started this as kind of a way to work my way through palettes, ones that I might have kind of forgotten about because I have so many palettes, because I have a makeup addiction. Yes, my name is Aiden and I am addicted to makeup. So I started this and I have a whole playlist. I've been doing it for like a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years. I don't even, not quite 2 years. But yes, I have a lot of them. So if you're interested in other ones, I will have a playlist up above. And let me tell you about today's palette. These are all on my chopping block. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram too. I went through all of my palettes this past year, kind of organized them and divided them into palettes that I really love. Like, I look at them and they just make me so happy. Ones that I feel like I like and I look at them and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nice palette. And then ones I look at and I'm like, I don't know, they just leave me a little uninspired. And I decided to go through all of those ones that left me uninspired, and I was going to give them a chance. I wasn't going to just declutter them. So I wore them each for 1 day, and I've talked about all of them on my Instagram. And then if they make the cut, they go into a 4 for 4, and this is a 4 for 4 chopping block. So I have my first one. This is the Star Wars. This is by Cargo, and this is the light side. I've already talked about the dark side, so if you haven't watched my other one on that, go watch that. I'll have a link up above too. Then I have the Narcissist. I'm sorry, that's going to show all of the stuff across the street and my camera. This is the Loaded eyeshadow palette. You might be sensing a theme by the time you see all of these. Then we have the Too Faced Natural Mattes. That is what it looks like. And then finally, we have the Shayna B Miami. I think that's how you say her name. And this is what it looks like inside. This week is a little unusual because I feel like half of these were ones that came in subscription boxes, and half of them were ones that I chose. And I don't know if I chose very well, because obviously if I chose them and I'm not inspired, did I just pick them up because of the hype? And that very much could be the case. We're going to start with Shayna B Miami. This is one that I did get in my Ipsy Plus, and there are 8 shades in there, kind of warm toned, but kind of a weird mix. You have 4 shimmers and 4 mattes, and you kind of have a range, but I don't know. They're a little, I'm not a big fan of dark shimmer shades because I don't wear those a whole lot. All right, so that is what the 8 shades look like swatched. I think part of the thing that bothers me about this is that the bottom row, you have this, which is upside down for you, but you have this lovely progression of light to dark, and you kind of had that going on the bottom or on the top row, except these two I feel like should be switched. I think that's part of what throws me off when I look at this. These are very soft shadows. The mattes are pretty soft and creamy. They do blend away pretty easily, so you have to be careful about that. And then the shimmers are nice. These are shimmers that I would apply with my fingers as opposed to with a brush, because they are going to kind of have a lot of fallout and not be as, you know, shimmery or pop quite as much if you don't apply them with your finger. I liked this palette. I don't really feel inspired by this palette, and I think part of that is, like, I like the mattes. I can make a look, but I'm not going to have a lot of variety of looks. I'm going to have, you know, that in my crease, that up there. Might put that in my crease if I'm feeling really crazy, but you know, I'm either going to have one of those in my corner. I don't feel like there's a lot of variety in here, and for my collection, I feel like I really need more variety. I don't think that this is a bad formula. I did feel like it faded fairly regularly throughout the day. It isn't like it's something that's really pretty that I feel like it looks just as nice at the end of the day as it does in the beginning. So I think it's an okay formula. It's not my favorite. I don't think it's a terrible formula either though. So I feel very meh about this one. All right, let's look at the Star Wars Cargo Palette. This one I did pick up. I remember these were really hard to find. The packaging on these are really cool. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I think that's part of the reason why I feel kind of meh about it, because it's not like something I look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so excited about it. I do love like the sparkliness in the packaging. I think it's really pretty. This color scheme is a little better than the other one. The other one was the dark side. So there are some nice shades. This does not have any shimmers in this though. These are mattes and satins. You're not going to get a pop when you use this at all. So just keep that in mind when you see the swatches. All right, and that's what they look like. So I will say with Cargo, they don't have the best formula. I feel like it's a little patchy. It's harder to work with. Once you get it there, it looks nice, but it does take some time to get it to blend out and to not look super patchy. You have to have a lot of patience with it. So keep that in mind. You do have a couple really light shades up here, so be careful of that too. I do like this palette. I kind of like the color story. I like that I have some warmer tones in here, but I also have a couple of browns. I wish it did have like a full-on shimmer because that is definitely who I am. This shade is the closest to a shimmer, but it's very much like a satin. If you can even see it right here, it's okay. I wouldn't recommend Cargo shadows. I've just been overall really disappointed with all of the ones that I've tried. I think this is the best of them, but I still don't think it's like outstanding or worth like seeking out. And I know that these are a little harder to find because they were collectibles, more so. And I feel like if I was a Star Wars fan, I would be really excited to have this, but I still feel pretty like let down with this palette. All right, the third palette I have is the Natural Mattes from Too Faced. This one did come in a boxy, I think it was boxy premium maybe, either boxy or boxy premium. So this was one that I got in a subscription box. The packaging on this, I love the packaging. It's kind of raised up, so it's harder to store, that's for sure. But it's beveled on all of the sides, and it has this cute little heart there. So it just feels really nice and luxurious. It has a nice mirror in there as well. And it does have like, it has like a vanilla-y cocoa type scent to it. I think it has coconut in it, and that's probably what I'm really smelling. So you do have 9 shades in here. They are all mattes, which, like I just said with the last one, I'm a shimmer girl. So that gives you a little idea of what I feel about this palette before I swatch it. All right, so that is what they all look like swatched. They are pretty light. You can build them up with some practice. Like, they're not going to be in your face, really super pigmented right away, but you can build them up, which is good because I feel like that makes them more universally useful because, you know, if you're as pale as me, you don't want something super dark when you put it on, but you want to be able to build it up. If you have a darker complexion, then pale as a ghost. So you do have some interesting shades in here. You do have a nice range of them. You have some, they're all pretty warmer tones and slightly leaning neutral, which is nice. I don't love mattes. I want something to pop with them. So this is one that you definitely, well, I would definitely want either single shadows that are shimmers or something to make them pop because I feel like they're kind of boring. I do like that you kind of have a dummies guide, so each row is kind of its own look, you know, brow bone, mid crease, and corner, but then you would put like this in the inner corner. So it's kind of foolproof that way, but you can mix and match them if you so choose. That's kind of what I did with them. They work really nice. They smell really nice. I like Too Faced eyeshadows. I just wish, I wish this had shimmers, even though it's the natural mattes. I know. So yeah, that's my own hang up. All right, our last palette is the Nars Narissist Loaded. This one has really heavy packaging. It's a little difficult to open. I feel like you have to have it perfectly positioned to open it, which can be a little annoying at times. So you do have 12 shades in here. You have more shades than in the other ones. They're very neutral, kind of warm, but very brown based. You have a solid black, which I don't think I have touched at all. I haven't really touched the dark brown because those aren't shades that I wear a lot of. I did use this a little bit, but and there's some more that almost lean a little cooler toned as well. So you kind of have a mix of super neutrals. I got this one because I loved another Narcissist palette so much. I thought I'm going to get this one too because I'm going to love it. And I shouldn't have gotten it because of the colors. Like, this is not really my color scheme. But let me swatch it for you and tell you about it. Okay, so that is what they all look like swatched. The shimmers in this, oh my gosh, I'm throwing off the white balance again. So the shimmers in this are so beautiful. I really, really love them. And they're definitely things that they're the type of shimmer that I like, that just is not like over the top glitter, but still has like a punch to it, and it's just really pretty. That's one thing that I really noticed as I was looking at this. I was like, oh, they're so pretty. I really like them. The mattes, you know, are really nice too. I really like this formula. This is like this weird satin, like really lovely formula. I really liked that a lot. I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know if I'm cold or if I'm just excited about talking about this palette. So I think this palette is an excellent palette, and I really love the NARS formula. This was such, like, everyone that I have in this line, I've really enjoyed the formula on. I just don't love the colors. Even as I'm looking at it, I was like, should I keep it? And I'm like, I'm never going to reach for it. So why do I want to keep it for some of the shimmers when I know I'm not going to reach for it because they're not really colors that I go for? But I think this one has more usable formulas, and like the formulas are just a little bit better than my favorite one, which is a little crazy. I will say that. Like, I love the pinkish one that they did of this, but I think this one has better formulas in it. All right, on to the ranking and possible declutter. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, please do consider subscribing. It would mean so very much to me. Don't forget to leave me your opinions on these palettes if you have tried any of them in the past, and also give this video a like because it really does help small YouTubers like myself. Anytime you like a video, it really does give us a little bit of a boost. All right, so, and I mean boost in terms of the algorithm, as well as, you know, it does feel nice to know that somebody enjoyed the work that you put into it. All right, so in last place, I'm going to put the Shayna B Miami palette. I don't think it's terrible. Like I said, I didn't love it. I don't love that it's kind of very one-dimensional in terms of the looks that you can get from it, and it did muddy a little bit as I went through the day. So I am putting this one in 4th place, and I am decluttering this palette. I can't decide if I want to declutter this next palette or not, because I feel like I like the colors in it, and I probably could get some use out of it, but then I'm like, should I keep it? Because I have so many other palettes that have similar colors that I like better, but it's also, it's hard to find, so I don't know. Let me know if you think I should keep this one or not. This is in 3rd place. This is the Star Wars Cargo palette. I'm putting this in 3rd place for 2 reasons. One, there's no shimmers, like true shimmers, which irritates me. I want some sort of shimmer in there. Also, it muddies just a little bit as you wear throughout the day. I really should let this one go, but I feel like attached to it for some strange reason. But I know I have a friend that would really absolutely love this, so maybe I should just be unselfish and give it to her. I don't know. Anyway, this one I feel like is pretty nice, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend Cargo anytime. They're fine, but they kind of, the same thing with the Shayna B, they kind of muddied throughout the day. In 2nd place, I am putting the Too Faced Natural Mattes. This is kind of dummy proof, which is really nice. The colors are really nice. They blend really well, and this is a good accent palette or base palette if you have some nice singles. So I am going to keep it because of that, because I do think I will get some use out of it and use it in conjunction with like some of my Natasha Denona small palettes, because they don't always have a lot of good shades that you could make everyday looks with, but they have some amazing shimmers. So I'm going to keep this so that I can use it with that, which means in 1st place I'm putting the Nars Narissist palette, because I feel like this is the most versatile in terms of looks. The formula in here is absolutely excellent. Really nice mattes, some amazing like shimmers, and like this is a really cool shade. I really, like, it feels really cool. I am decluttering it though. It's first place and I'm decluttering it because it's not shades that I will use. And I feel like I would rather have somebody else who will get you some use out of it, actually use it and enjoy it, rather than it just kind of sitting. Although right now, like, all my palettes are sitting so that I can do some stuff with them and get my life in order so that I can actually, like, declutter things. So yes, first place, but it is being decluttered as well. I think I will declutter the Star Wars one. It makes me kind of feel a little nauseated though. Like, is that weird? Yeah. So I'm only going to keep the natural mattes because I feel like I will get some use out of it, but I'm going to let the other three go. Let me know if you think my decisions are good or not, or if I should keep the Star Wars cargo. Let me know down below. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.